incredible! Elegant arc, flawless aim, and such glorious firepower!
Hey! Are you praising my little minion, or drooling over your sect's fancy cannon?
Well, our predecessors were masters of their craft. Their creations truly embodied the wisdom of heaven and earth. All right, enough teasing. Let's be serious. If it weren't for you, today would have been a disaster. I mean it. Thank you. Truly.
That was slick. Only you could pull that off. I've got to admit, you've outshone me.
Huh? You look pale. You didn't get hurt, did you?
Little minion, say something. You all right?
The second sign has stirred, which means the prophecy is already in motion. Zhiliu, what exactly are you after?
The second symbol, Thor. Essence to embrace, facade to renounce, disbandment for the whole. A marsh dries for the mountain's sake. One loss, to preserve the whole. You will take shelter deep in the mountains, compromising the outer peaks, drawing the sentinels of Juntian to their gates. It is a feint, nothing more. All we seek is that you draw the city guard away. Hold your ground a little longer, and they will fall back.
Spare me the prophecy talk. If the ending's already written, why should I care? Let me go.
There is no need to rush. It seems there is much we have misunderstood about one another. Let me begin with this. I have never sought to become a god. I regret what happened at the altar. You matter to me. There were things I could not control. But know this. You were never a pawn to be played and cast aside.
Then what is it you want?
In Huaxu today, the gods avert their gaze from the living, and mortals have grown numb. You have seen what the 9 chapters of Dafeng have become. My aim is simple. To cast the gods down from their lofty thrones.
Cast down the gods? You mean, to kill them?
Correct. But the power of the 9 chapters is without equal. No mortal means can oppose it. Unless I borrow the strength of one who wields a force unlike any other.
Resonance. That's why you sought me out.
Indeed. I thought this ancient power was nothing more than a relic of half-forgotten legends. Until fate led me to you. You may not yet understand the true nature of resonance. A power to guide and to command. It was with this force that our ancestor Yan founded the 9 chapters, subduing the Filthoids and shaping them into the Loon Gods enforcers of order. That is why only a kindred power can wound Tai Hao. By your hand, Tai Hao was struck, and the sentinels drawn away. And in the heart of that raging storm, we tore open a bridge wide enough to bring down the gods. You too have a place in this ending. Will you not hear the reward I offer? Hush. Listen. The wheels of fate are already turning. See now, all has been made ready. Tai Hao lies wounded. Its defenses thinned. Now comes the decisive stroke. To breach the Taishu mausoleum with your power. Once the plan is in motion, there will be no turning back. The world itself will be overturned. Zhu, are you ready?
Since the day of my fall, long have I awaited this hour. Through moons, seasons, and turning years have I endured. My resolve hath never wavered, nor doth it admit the shadow of doubt. Yet thou, thine heart is unquiet. Hath the bond of former days softened thy will?
Zhu, the covenant of souls we forged at the altar was never meant to grant your sight into my thoughts. And yet, perhaps there is some truth in what you say. I wonder how she fares in the mountains. She must despise me deeply by now. The resonance, once wielded by the founder of the 9 chapters, has returned to this land, borne by a traveler from beyond. Does it not strike you as curious, Zhu, that something beyond design itself may be at work here? With time, all things shift, and the world has long forgotten why the gods exist at all. Should they one day learn that the deities they revere are but works of mortal hands, how would they feel, I wonder?
The sentiment of mortals toucheth not my heart. This alone I seek, to draw Tai Hao into the pyre, and quench the hatred that through unnumbered centuries hath burned.
Our needs may differ, yet our paths match. Come. To the grave that fate has prepared for us. And today, we shall set right the false order that binds Huaxu.
How do you fare?
Thank you. The headache's gone.
Forgive me. I was not here to watch over you. I've only just returned. Has Zhiliu's second prophecy already come to pass?
Yes. She used me as bait to lure the magistrates into raiding the outer peaks, just as she foretold. But her true aim wasn't to destroy the outer peaks. It was to draw the magistrates and Bian away, creating an opening to act elsewhere.
I see. So that was the cause of the sudden withdrawal. At the time, I was in the city and beheld the great tremor from the heights of the Hall of Adjudication. The townsfolk stood frozen in dread. By the time I departed, order had been restored, yet none knew the truth of what had occurred. I must apologize. I tarried in the city on personal business. Had I returned but a little sooner.
But if ever you face something you cannot handle alone, promise me you will tell me. I will help in whatever way I can.
Your words I shall remember. I found a lead on breaking the hypnosis. Yet such matters are best spoken of when all are assembled. For now, before your strength is restored, pray take the air a while.
Can't tell.
So, I'll be blunt. Is she leaving or not?
I swear on my honor, she is no spy from Xuanheng.
No spy? Then answer me this. The gates to the outer peaks have stood hidden for years, never once exposed. And the very moment she sets foot here, those wolves come sniffing.
I don't place my faith in guesswork. I believe only what I see. When the sentinels of Jintian struck, she stood with us to drive them back. That is what I saw.
How can you be sure she was not faking that to win your trust? They left on their own. We didn't drive them off. The outer peaks are wide open now, and those curs could be back any time. And when they do, will you still have the strength to push them back? Jishu's ended up like this because of people like you. Always giving ground, always backing off. Back during the Battle of Shuli, they dragged our name through the mud and no one spoke up. Those treacherous dogs from Shuanghang tore our ranks apart, and when they tried to stamp out our arts, we still kept our heads down. Now our kin either bow and scrape to the Ministry of Works, or hole up in these dark mountains. Who even remembers we once stood as one of Huaxu's great pillars, equal to Xuanheng?
Enough. Xu Hong, I get it. All you care about is our sect and keeping the outer peak safe. There's something I believe even more. Cherish alike the light and the shadow. Let heaven and earth share but one heart. To act with compassion, to love all without distinction. That's the very first lesson we were taught. She's my friend, and just moments ago she saved our lives. If we turn our backs on her now, wouldn't that be the truest betrayal of the Jishu way?
You!
If you're here to talk me into sending her away, Don't bother. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I won't allow it.
Suyi?
What? You? And Snow? You heard all that?
We did.
Right. I was hoping you wouldn't. Truth is, some of the drifters think you exposed our base on purpose, that you're siding with the 9 chapters. But I've already set them straight. They won't be giving you trouble again. Don't take it to heart. They were harsh, but it's fear talking. The outer peaks? It's all we've got left.
Thanks. But they weren't wrong about everything. The Sentinels did come here because of me.
What?
Zhiliu tampered with me. Left a mark that led the 9 chapters straight to this place. She told me herself in her second prophecy. That's why I can't stay.
But that's not your fault. You didn't know. Let me think. There's got to be another way.
It's all right, Suyi. I'm grateful for your kindness. But the Outer Peaks has just been hit, and you've got far more urgent matters on your hands. I've got my own problems to deal with. I need to find Zhiliu before the third omen comes to pass. We'll meet again. Until then, take care. All right?
Then it's a promise. We'll meet again, both in one piece. Oh, and Kujo's gone off somewhere, probably brooding after that blazing row with Yumin. Go find him and take him with you. He keeps saying he owes you his life, and trust me, he'll stand by you to the end. There's chaos brewing in the city. You'll need all the help you can get. And that big lug's worth having if there's a fight. Oh, and another thing. No more head patting. In Huaxu, only elders can pat the younger ones' heads. Only my aunt's ever done that to me. What? How dare you? Since Kejo's your swan brother, you have to call me Great Auntie too. Hear that? Say it with me. Great Auntie.
There's the Suyi I know. Good to see you smiling again.
All right. I need to check the damage, hand out some medicine, and later fix the base's mechanisms. Once you found Kejo, come back so we can put our heads together and plan our next move. I can't fight beside you this time, but I can at least give you the intel you'll need.
You go on ahead, little minion. I'm staying here.
Wow. Never thought I'd hear that. You're not coming with me.
I just want to hear more about everything they were yelling about. Zhuanheng, Jishu, the Battle of Shuli, all of it. What's wrong with being curious? My brain's buzzing.
Sure you are. You're just looking for an excuse to slack off, aren't you?
It's not like that at all. Just go find Kejo already before he slips off again. Say, Suyi, my little minion and I have been honorary learners of Jishu for a long time now, and we still don't know a single thing about our glorious past. I heard our sect used to be amazing, like worthy of the Demon King's backstory amazing. So, what happened? Tell me.
Honorary learners. Huh. Let me guess. Master Gongshang tried to rope you into being his disciples? Figures. Well then, as your Shijie, that's senior fellow apprentice in the Huaxu tongue, I'll give you the full story. All right, listen up. So, how much do you know about the origins of the 9 chapters of Dafeng?
Oh, I know. It was someone amazing. Named...
Trust the Xianheng sect to hog all the credit.
Ah, little minion! When did you get back?
What? You get to hear the lecture from our Shujia and I don't. That's hardly fair.
Sure. Have a seat. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Back in ancient times, filthoids ran rampant and war never ceased. How could the people of Huaxu be freed from the blight of deterioration and the endless scourge of war? Ju and Yang, the forebears who founded this realm, wrestled with that question for many years. At last, the 9 chapters of Dafeng were born, ushering in centuries of peace across Huaxu. But this miraculous art that shielded the realm was not Yang's work alone. The founder of our sect, Ju, played an indispensable role. You may know that Yang possessed a rare gift. By burning incense, she could sway and command the filthoids nearby, soothing them so they would no longer harm anyone. But how could such a gift be made permanent and even magnified? To find the answer, Ju journeyed far and wide, reaching even the foot of the tower in distant Elysium, where he embarked on a grand adventure alongside your Hyperborean forebears. I digress. In the end, Ju did find the answer. He returned to Huaxu, gathered manpower and resources, and began work on a vast, unprecedented endeavor. When it was finished, Yang, Ju, and many forebears of Long Scions gave their lives to that great work, binding Yang's art of incense forever into the fabric of the world. Thus, the 9 chapters took root. Legend has it, the device still rests above the Hall of Adjudication, though its inner workings and ingenious craft have long been lost to time. Were it not a forbidden place, barred to all but a chosen few, I would give anything to see it with my own eyes. After Yang and Ju sacrificed themselves, Tai Hao and Zhu Yin took up their will, ruling Huaxu together ever since. The sects they founded, Xuanheng and Jishu, stood shoulder to shoulder in guiding the realm. Back then, Jishu's rosters were as thick as tomes, and our coffers overflowed with research funding. Not like now, scraping by, counting every coin. Aye, those were the glory days.
So the Jishu sect really did have its golden age. How did it all fall apart? Suyi, you just said Juyin was honored as a guardian god, but now it's seen as a harbinger of disaster. Is that tied to Jishu's decline?
Quite sharp. I'm impressed. After the Battle of Shuli, the Xuanheng sect kept most of what happened under wraps. The full truth survives only in our direct line. So listen closely. In the old days, though Xuanheng and Jishu ruled Huaxu together, our beliefs were far from the same. The 9 chapters weren't so rigid then. Mortals and gods could govern side by side. We in Jishu weighed all things by the measure of the heart, Xuanheng by the letter of unbending law. Case after case, our differences grew until friction became constant. In the end, all that tension boiled over, and the Battle of Shuli erupted. Where Crowsong Hollow now lies was once a vital research hub for us, until the war reduced it to ashes. No one knows exactly what happened. What is known is that Xuanheng suspected Jishu of plotting rebellion and sent troops to investigate. And somehow, it spiraled into a war from which none returned. When the news broke, the whole realm reeled. The 9 chapters had been forged to keep the peace, yet such a calamity had come to pass. It was unthinkable. Xuanheng decided it was unbridled emotion and suspicion that had stripped people of reason, shattered order, and sparked the war. The heart itself, they declared, was the seed of all disaster, and so they sealed our guardian, Zhu Yin. From that moment, the 9 chapters began to lose their balance. Tai Hao grew cold, bound themselves ever tighter to rigid edicts, and turned a deaf ear to mortal voices. The Jishu sect came under heavy suppression, and much of our knowledge and craft was branded taboo. Even though society still relied on the Hall of Craft's techniques to fuel industry, They were shackled by prejudice and bound in constraint. Some Jishu disciples, disillusioned by the 9 chapters' rigidity, broke away and fled with the drifters, seeking refuge in these mountains. That was the earliest form of what we now call the Outer Peaks. That about sums it up. So, any questions? I see. So you caught glimpses of this history through Zhu memories. When heart and principle fall out of balance, the ruin that follows knows no end. Perhaps the turmoil we face today is proof Xuanheng's measures went too far. Oh my, I didn't realize I'd gone on so long. In any case, whether grand or fallen, Jishu sect's glory days are just that now. Days long past. What matters is the present. I've a mountain of tasks waiting. No time to wallow in nostalgia. Go on, get to what you need to do. And if there's ever anything you don't understand, come find me. I'll gladly share what I know.
You're here. Figured I'd loosen up with a bit of sword practice, but something's been off all night. Guess my head's too crammed with stray thoughts. Even the blade feels sulky about it.
You okay, Kajo? You're usually all easy grins. Didn't think I'd see you weighed down like this.
Used to be I'd laugh at folks who got all mushy in the dead of night. Now look at me. Can't stop my mind from drifting back. I used to train here. First with twigs, then a wooden sword, and finally the real thing. Yuming and Buxia would be standing right where you are now. Yuming with that stern face, correcting my every swing.
Hi bro, welcome to the stream.
Buxia. That girl was like a squirrel, always bouncing, cheering me on whenever I pulled off a good move. Now it's just one troubled soul soaking in all this fine moonlight. Bit of a waste, huh?
Uxia. Yuming mentioned that name when you two were arguing earlier. Who was she?
Our Shimei. Little junior apprentice. We found her wandering, homeless, down at Mist Wharf and took her in. She's not with us anymore.
What happened?
She paid the price for freedom. Ironic, isn't it? We drifters spend our lives chasing it with everything we've got. And in the end, that same freedom took hers away. You probably know this. In Huaxu, from the day you're born, the 9 chapters have you bound. No fighting. No training with weapons. No defiance. And heaven finds you if you so much as disrespect the Lung Gods. So if you want real freedom, you've got to break those chains. That's been the Drifter's creed since day one. Five years ago, we built the Tianluo Veil, a device to shut out the 9 chapters' hold. At last, we'd done it, Everyone in the outer peaks was over the moon. Feast after feast. And you couldn't walk 5 steps without the smell of grilled meat clinging to your clothes. But we missed one truth. The 9 chapters didn't just punish those who broke the rules. They also kept deterioration at bay.
Wait. You mean...
Exactly what you're thinking. We'd lived in peace too long. To outsiders,
Hi, Karadi,
deterioration
welcome
is
to
a
the
living
stream.
nightmare. But here in Huaxu,
Yes,
it's just a word in
I was
dusty old
just
books.
trying to complete the
Under the
story.
9 chapters' sway, the afflicted would change straight into Beyond, the realm's enforcers of law.
RX P1
But when we shut the chapters out,
3K.
The
Hi bro,
monsters
welcome to
came
the
back.
stream. Thank you for the following.
Wuxia was on the brink of adulthood.
Karadi,
The
I
night
have
before her coming of
started
age,
playing this
She
yesterday.
turned into a mindless, raging filthoid and tore through our base. Many died, our Shifu among them. She'd complained of headaches, but we brushed it off. Just a cold, we thought. A martial artist's body can take worse. Only Yu Ming worried enough to slip into town alone for medicine. He asked me to stay and watch her, but I didn't. I heard there was a traveling circus in town, so off I went. I mean, what's babysitting compared to a street show?
And then, what happened?
Hours later, I came back to the outer peaks, and there was blood everywhere. Yu Ming stood right in the middle. The sight turned my stomach. I'll never forget it. He'd killed her himself. The girl we'd raised like a little sister. The medicine he'd gone to such lengths to get lay spilled across the ground, steeped in her blood. From that day, he barely smiled. Spoke less and less. Then, one night under the full moon, he was gone. When we met again, he was already a magistrate of Yingtian. I don't know what deal he made with the Argent Lung. But I do know my Shisyung, the big brother who'd stay after lessons to fix my sword form, who'd sneak me out for osmanthus cakes, is never coming back. Haven't watched a street show since. Truth is, I knew he was right. When he asked me, what comes after tearing things down? I had no answer then. I've none now. All these years, I've lived with regret. If we'd been there for her that day, or, looking further back, if we'd never shut out the 9 chapters in the first place, would it all have been different? We chased freedom headlong, blind to the price. Tell me, were we wrong from the start?
Kejo, I've lost a dear friend to deterioration too. I know what it feels like. But this wasn't your fault. And it wasn't the 9 chapters either. The blame lies with deterioration and nothing else. So don't carry it like it's yours. Even if the 9 chapters had stopped it, Wuxia would have turned into a Bian. Mindless, soulless, cut off from everyone she loved. That's no kind of life. Right and wrong aren't always clear, but one thing is, wanting to protect others is never wrong. My life used to be simple. Bait the hook, the fish bites. Pull the trigger, the hare falls. Everything had rules I could read at a glance. But after I left home, I found the world far messier than I'd thought. Things rarely go the way you expect. I once knew a doctor who strove to save lives. He failed. In the end, he had to kill the very patients he meant to save, and lost his own life for it. I heard of a boy chasing his childhood dream, but the choices he made to reach it left him past saving. He became a monster, trapped in a grotesque shell. These past days have shown me how fickle fate can be. Even with different choices, the ending might be no better than now. So, instead of mourning the past, I'd rather look to what can still be done. Like how we'll defend these people if deterioration comes again. But whatever you do, don't stop. Keep moving forward. Standing still changes nothing.
Don't stop. You're right. Sitting here wallowing won't change a thing. The past's out of reach. But the future? That's still mine to chase. Thanks. All right. We've been out here long enough. My great-aunt won't say it, but I'll bet she's worried sick. Let's get back before the old lady paces a hole through the floor.
You're back!
What's with the long faces? Still hung up on what happened just now? Come on. With all those magistrates storming in, we held out a good half hour. I'd call that a draw with the Argent Lung.
Hung up? Not me. I've been here the whole time, tallying the damage and patching up mecha puppets. No time to go sobbing in the woods like a certain someone I could name. Feeling better now? We can't have a crybaby slowing us down.
Much obliged for the concern, Great Aunt. She knocked some sense into me. Now I've got an answer for Yu Ming. Who says we have to lean on the 9 chapters to keep us safe? I can't tackle every case of deterioration on my own. But if 10, 100 of us fought side by side, we could bring down a deteriorator or two. Easy. With enough hands on the hilt, we can turn the tide. Zhiliu scored a few rounds on us, sure. But next bout, we flip the board. Whatever she's plotting, we'll cut straight through it.
That's the spirit. But spirit alone won't win the day. Let's talk about our next move. I say the outer peaks should put their weight behind her. Once she cracks Zhiliu's third prophecy, we can rethink our plan. Oh, and did you find anything on your end, Miss Fushu?
I've discerned the whereabouts of the last heir to the Wuchongjiang sect. Now in seclusion in Jialan village, west of Haojing.
Jiaolan village. How convenient. Looks like we've just found ourselves a local guide.
Huh? Don't tell me that's your hometown, Kajou.
Haven't been back in years. I never thought I'd return for a reason like this. Still, maybe it's about time.
Our intel says the magistrates who were after you pulled back after the tremor at the Hall of Adjudication. You should be able to slip in quietly. The perfect chance for a covert investigation.
Good. Once you're all set, we move. Been away for decades. And the saplings by the gate have shot up so tall. Back then, I'd be scrambling up and down them all day. Staging cricket battles with the other kids, poking the geese just to see them flap, then legging it for my life when they came after me. Wonder if anyone here would still know my face.
I've only confirmed that a descendant of the Wutongzang sect resides in this village. Their exact identity remains unclear.
Truth be told, I've no clue either. Best start asking around. Good luck.
Why us? Wouldn't it be quicker if you asked? You're the local here. Don't tell me you're shirking again.
Not this time. You'll see.
Weapons, supplies, power levels, mission plans. Check completed for the 17th time. Standing by.
what you need and let's hit the road! When it comes to the art of organizing, I'm definitely a pro! Gotta keep all the adventure gear neat and tidy, right?
Let's go.
Frost Warrior, hi bro, welcome to the stream.
Hey there. Ever heard any stories about the Wu Chengzang sect?
No. Ah, Papa says I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Are you strangers?
We've been chatting for a bit already. That makes us friends, not strangers. So, where's your papa now?
He went out earlier to chop wood. If you've got questions, ask Mama. She's over there drying incense.
Excuse me. Do you happen to know if there's a Wu Chengzang sect recluse living in this village?
Wu Chengzang? Can't say I've heard of that. Though we do have a few teachers here good with numbers and divination.
We're looking for the type who might fiddle with coins and tortoise shells for augury. Does that ring a bell?
可咒!
Hey, Sister Xiangyun. Have you been? How's the family? Your boy's gotten tall?
Go home and do your homework now. Don't go picking up bad habits from the likes of this man. I have nothing to say to you lot. Criminals get. Don't bring your bad luck into our village.
Why'd she turn all frosty the second she saw you?
Who knows? Maybe it's because I spent half my childhood chasing her chickens around. Ugh. Sniffing around like this won't get us far. Let's go straight to the village chief.
Weapons, supplies, power levels.
Hi, Uncle Lee. It's me. Mind if I ask you something?
Kojo, you've grown. Showed us. After all these years, you finally come home.
Just here on business. Need to ask something for a friend. We'll be gone before you know it.
That's not what I meant. Never mind. What do you need?
Do you know of a Wuqiongzang sect recluse living here?
You mean Hermit Jingyuan? Across the broken bridge, near the cliff edge.
Oh, that's the one patch I always steer clear of. I was a real rascal as a kid. Scaled every wall, nicked every loose tile, turned the entire village if that's Wuqiongzang turf. Well, that explains it. Thanks, Uncle Lee. We'll get out of your hair.
Wait.
What is it?
After we drove your family out, I've carried that guilt ever since. How have you been all these years?
Don't fret over that. I'm doing fine. Eating well, sleeping sound, living free. My old man's got a big heart. He wouldn't hold a grudge either.
Your father was a good man. A real shame. And I still regret not standing up for your family back then.
Hey, don't say that. You helped us a lot. Brought food and water. Did what you could. My mom and I have only ever been grateful. Dwelling too much in the past will only steal your years away. Take it easy, Uncle Lee. And save me a seat at your 100th birthday celebration. Right. Now we really do have to go. Next time I drop by, I hope to see you still full of beans.
At last, you have come. Since the first light of dawn, I have kept my vigil beneath this parasol tree.
You knew we'd come.
The Wuqiongzang sect takes pride in reading the weave of fate through the arcane arts. It is folly for mortals to pry into the impermanence of destiny. Yet in such humble divinations, my aim has seldom strayed. But allow me to name myself. I am Hermit Jingyuan, current master of the sect. My wayward disciple, Zhiliu, is in your debt.
For real? You can see everything coming? Then can you guess why we're here?
Be at ease. The hex upon your friend, I shall soon unbind it. And when that is done, all that was veiled shall return to her memory. Yet before we begin, might I ask you to hear a tale?
How long are we going to be stuck here?
The grown-ups will find a way out. Don't fret, child. What you need now is rest. Save your strength.
It's so quiet. What if we never get out? Will everyone out there forget about us?
Dwell too long on such thoughts, and the hours will drag on without end. Like someone who's grown used to the shelter of an eave, and when it finally falls into disrepair, can only stand there lost as the rain comes pouring in. Better to see it differently. This taste of rain. How often does one find such a thing in daily life? Savor it. When we're rescued, it will make quite the tale.
Looking back, that cave-in may well have been the first omen of the scourge of Zhuying. It was misfortune to be trapped, yet with someone so warm, so unfailingly positive beside me, the days felt less unbearable. I thought then, perhaps this would be a memory I'd carry all my life. But with each passing day, hunger bit deeper. After so long without food, I had no strength left, even to think.
So hungry. When will help ever come?
This cave is so remote. Even if they realize we're missing, who knows how many days it would take for a rescue party to reach us.
Oh, what if by then our bones have already gone cold? Wait, the 9 chapters of Dafeng. Lord Argent will watch over their people. Won't they?
Raj,
But the
Shrestha,
magistrates
hi
of
bro, welcome to
Yingtian
the
are there to
stream.
punish the wicked. Would they truly come for the stranded?
Blast it! So if we starve to death here, we're just another tally in some calamity log. Is that it?
Are you out of your mind?
What are you doing?
Heaven preserve us! Killing is forbidden by the admonitions. How dare you!
I couldn't care less about the admonitions. All I see is fresh meat.
Aren't you afraid the 9 chapters will punish you?
The magistrates don't see everything. And I can always go to the drifters, can't I? Worst case, I'll steal a ship and make for foreign shores. But first, I need to fill my belly. I won't rot away here like the rest of you.
You can't!
Could this be the end? I didn't want to yield to fate. Yet hunger had left me too weak to lift even a finger. All I could do now was close my eyes, so I wouldn't have to watch my own death.
Let her go!
Murder!
Back then, I imagined every possible end. To starve where I lay, or to be struck down by the frenzied, screaming adults. But what I had never foreseen was the blaze of sunlight. The magistrates of Yingtian descended like gods. Yes, we were rescued. The enforcers of the 9 chapters tore away the rockfall and let the sun pour in. Least of all did I expect that they had not come for our cries of despair. They had come for the man who broke admonitions. Yes, they had come to execute the hero who had just saved my life.
Though your husband's deed was noble, the taking of a life is punishable by death. Such is the unbending law of the 9 chapters. My condolences.
Papa was a hero. Why should we be sad? I'm proud to have a father like him.
Thank you for all you've done. But is it true his name may not be carved upon the tombstone?
I am sorry. Those condemned by the heaven may not bear their names upon the grave. It has been so since ancient times.
I understand. We will leave the village soon, but please, tend to his grave when you can. Do not let the weeds claim it.
It shall be done.
Who'd have thought Kerming, always so proper, would go and break the 9 chapters' worst law, taking alive?
Our village has always been filled with law-abiding folk. And now, a criminal among us? What a disgrace. Cast them out. The whole family.
He wasn't a criminal. He was a hero. He saved me.
A hero? That's the last thing we need in Huaxu. We have the 9 chapters, the magistrates, the Bian. Why would anyone need a hero when we have them?
But what if the magistrates come too late? What if there's no one there to help me?
Too late. Impossible.
And if it did happen, it would simply be bad luck. That's no excuse for breaking the admonitions.
He once told me that walking out into the rain could offer a new way of seeing the world. I tried, but all I felt was the cold cutting through me, swallowing everything else. That day, I wandered aimlessly beneath the downpour. Was this all the attacker's fault? A tragedy born of the 9 chapters? Or, as they claimed, nothing more than bad luck? No, it was none of those things, I began to realize. It was those sheltered by their eaves. They had forgotten what it was to be drenched by the rain. They had grown soft, indifferent, no longer able to tell right from wrong, no longer able to defend themselves. They had been sheltered too long, and that must end.
The girl in your story, that was Zhiliu.
Indeed.
So she never forgot him. The girl my old man saved kept that memory close all these years. If he'd known one act of courage would stir up such chaos a decade later, he'd be jumping out of his skin. Even down there.
I have long since withdrawn from the world. It is not my place to weigh my disciples' rights or wrongs. I can lift the hex upon you. When you are ready, speak to me.
The last seal. It's giving way. Soon, the truth of everything will come to light. Zhiliu, when you chose this path, what were you thinking?
I must apologize for entangling you in this.
Bit late for that, don't you think?
You're right. I never gave you a choice. I must admit, from the moment I recognized your gift, I have woven my designs to secure your journey to Huaxu, to bend their power to my purpose. You bear a rare strength, and with it, you were never destined for a life of peace. Your foes will not relent. Thorns will crowd your road.
That's my problem.
It was never my intent to make your road harder. On the contrary, I would offer you recompense. Do you despise me? Do you take my offer for mere hypocrisy? Whatever you feel towards me, I can only hope this final divination may serve as a small reparation. The third symbol, upheaval. The mighty changes with the tiger's resolve, yet darkness falls from heavens. A mausoleum hangs in the void. The constellations yield to a new sovereign. At the heart of the 9 chapters stands the Taishu Mausoleum, suspended far above the hall of adjudication. That is where it all began. To kill a god is no simple feat. Mortal hands were never meant to touch the divine. Even in weakness, Taihao's power flows on without end, and the gulf between god and mortal remains as vast as heaven and earth. Only a god can strike down a god. That is why, upon the altar, I forged a covenant of souls with Zhu Ying. Life bound to life, death to death. It was a gambit that could not be allowed to fail. The covenant is among the oldest rites known. As High Chancellor of Longyuan, the 9 chapters gave me both the authority and the means to bear one. From that moment, my life was inextricably bound to Zhu Ying's. Long years of sealing have weakened him. My next act will be to offer myself upon the mausoleum, to restore and feed Zhu Ying's strength. Let the 2 gods clash, consume one another, and fall together into ruin. That is the only solution I can foresee. Your part in this is simple. When both are spent, kill me. End it all. Only then will the 9 chapters fall.
Kill you?
Exactly. The death of one soul-bound partner ends the other. That is the price of the covenant. Tai Hao and Zhu Ying share the same origin. Neither can truly unmake the other. Only the backlash of the covenant, through my death, can be shared by them both and bring this to an end. In their prime, gods might have withstood such a blow, but drained, perhaps not. And you will gain fame, influence, power. Huaxu has known divine protection for nearly a millennium. When the Loon gods fall, the land will be left without a leader. Someone must rise to rally the people, to bind their hearts together once more. That hero will be you. A hero's name carries weight beyond measure. Is there not reparation enough?
You're wrong about one thing, Zhiliu. Yes, I'm mad that you used me, forced me. But that doesn't mean I'd ever stand by and watch someone die. When we first met, you asked me what was worth risking one's life for. You clearly fear death. Yet now you speak of offering your own life as if it were nothing. Why?
That was idle talk. I never thought you'd take it to heart. To reach the ending I seek, such a sacrifice is necessary. Whether I will it or not, there is no other path. If I do not give my life, Tai Hao and Zhu Ying will spiral beyond control, dragging Huaxu into chaos. I can entrust this final act to no one but you. Whatever consequences, whatever blame follows, I will bear them alone. That should be fair.